never seen my grandma do this part of the process. I always see the dried bread, but I'm guessing she tears it and doesn't cut it because cutting bread is hard. But once she sees this video and she sees how I do it, she can critique it all she wants so then I can become the perfect stuffing maker. So I don't know how small to cut my celery. Cut them down the middle one more time so that they're more like squares when I get done, so they're more like cube bites of celery. So onion, same thing. I want it to be small enough, nice bite-sized chunks, not too big. But anyway, so I'll keep doing this and we'll get this ready and I'll put it in my 2 containers and we'll start mixing all the ingredients together. Hey, Zeba! What are you doing? Don't eat feathers. My 4 celery sticks and my 3/4 onion. I'm not gonna cut up the extras yet. We'll start mixing. So first, I'm gonna put some dried breadcrumbs in here. And then I'm going to open this can of chicken broth and dump it on the breadcrumbs. Seems a little counterintuitive, you know, you dry them all out and then you get them all wet. But this is how my grandma does it, so I'm not going to question her. I'm just going to do what she says. That's 1 can. I'll get a spoon. Get a wooden spoon. I'll stir this around, and I think there's some that are still crispy, so I'm going to add another can. And considering this is only 1 pan of breadcrumbs, and I have 4, so I have 3 more to go, I'm glad I bought that extra chicken bouillon cubes. Start adding a little bit of onion, and it already looks like I'm going to be needing to chop up more onion, a little bit of celery, and I'll stir this all around. And my grandma's secret ingredient, I guess it's not so secret anymore since I'm going to put this on YouTube, is sage. But this stuffing already smells delicious, and what I love about this recipe, and I didn't know it until last year, is how easy it is. You don't need to add butter, you don't need to add salt, so it's relatively healthy, except for the sodium that's in the chicken broth. You can see a little bit of broth down there still. Oh, hi Zeba. And there's Zeba Cat. He's the sidekick for today. So I'm going to add more breadcrumbs, and I think it's turning out fairly well. Like I said, it smells good. I'm going to add some sage. My grandma, last year, she added about 2 tablespoons worth of sage for 5 loaves of bread. I only have 2 loaves, so I'm going to start with a ½ tablespoon and see how that tastes. I'm not excited about tasting wet stuffing, cold wet stuffing, and non-cooked, but that's what Grandma did, and so I trust that when I taste it, it will be good. I'm adding my next can of breadcrumbs, and we're going to see how much this soaks up. It's time for me to start mixing that bouillon, and I'll mix a cup of bouillon and I'll add that in, and then I'm going to start adding water because I don't want it to be too potent. I want it to just be a nice complement to our turkey today. When I shut off the camera, I realized I didn't finish the broth that was in this one, so now I dumped that in. So, and the bread is moistened, but it needs more, and I made 1 cube of bouillon and 8 ounces of water, and I tasted it, and it's mildly chickeny. So I think that's good because the next step is water, and I've gotten the sage ready. I also diced up a half of onion more and a full additional celery stick. because I think that it's going to need more as we add the 2 more pans of bread. So let's add this pan, maybe half of it, because my bowl, I saw my grandma do this last year, but when you put the bread in, it's all bulky, but then you get it wet and it soaks down. I got warm tap water, because I saw my grandma do this last year, and she didn't measure it, she just used Tupperware. So that's what I'm doing. I'm adding more onion, adding more celery. It is smelling really good. And my grandma, she didn't measure a tablespoon. She used, like, you know, a spoon. So I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna pour it over this, because I know I don't need to be shy with the sage. So I'm just gonna sprinkle that in. And so this is one spoonful so far. This looks really, really good. It's nice. It's soaked up. It's smelling great. I really think I'm gonna do it. I really think I'm gonna make stuffing. I'm excited. So now I only have 1 more pan of breadcrumbs left. This is my first taste of the stuffing. Totally raw, not cooked. Let's see what I think. It's good. I think it needs more chicken broth, I think. So maybe I'll cook up another bouillon cube and then add the rest of the breadcrumbs and I'll be done. And you can see that 1 pan of breadcrumbs left. Here's my stuffing, and you can tell it's really looking good. I'm excited. Okay, I made 1 more 8-ounce cup of chicken bouillon. Let's add some more crumbs here. I'll add some of this. Now I'm wondering if my grandma's gonna chide me for using bouillon cubes. She didn't use bouillon cubes, but I didn't really know how much chicken stock was gonna be needed, and I thought that that was a smart way to have it on hand in case I needed, you know, 1 extra can or 5 extra cans. I didn't want to have to run to the store. I think I'll add more bread. The last of it should just be done, because I want to stop stirring it so much, because again, looks like I'm just breaking it all up, and I want nice chunks. I think if I add all this, I'll be good. So I'm going to add it all. Okay. I'm going to add more onions. You know, I don't know if chopping up that extra half onion or extra celery stick was needed, because I think I might have extras, but, well, maybe not. You can kind of see. I'll just add all the celery. I just don't know how vegetable-y it should be compared to bread. I think I'm going to add some of the water. I think that water is maybe also a secret ingredient. I don't know. Grandma Holman, I don't know who taught you how to make this, but it is looking good. She added 2 tablespoons last Thanksgiving, like I said, so I'm not going to add too much more. I don't want to, I don't know, I'm just kind of a half teaspoon. And again, once I stir this up, I'm going to taste it. Oh my gosh. I could probably add the rest of my onions just so I don't have any leftovers. It's just looking so good. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm going to do something that my grandma Holman did last year, and I thought it was a good way to end a stuffing excursion. I'm going to taste it. It's got a light flavor, and I really think baking it in the turkey will bring out more. Okay, so I think I'm done. But I love you guys. I love everyone in Wisconsin and Minnesota and Kentucky and any other state you might be living in. Maybe even Switzerland if you're watching this YouTube video. But seems that the stuffing is done. I'm excited. I think it's going to taste really good. So put a spoon in it.